Hello. So Friday, back on the squat. So brief recap. Monday was squats and pull down. Tuesday was higher intensity cardio. So I did 45 seconds on, 45 seconds off intervals for 40 sets. It wasn't all out by any means, but it was a higher intensity. Wednesday, deadlift and dips. Yesterday, Thursday, was zone 2 or steady state, easier cardio for an hour. Just used various implements, just kept going for an hour, keeping the heart rate between 112 and 124 ideally. Obviously it's not perfect, but that's the ideal. And today we're back on the squats, and I'm not going to do pull downs, I'm going to do seated row. So Monday's going to be squats and pull downs, and Friday's going to be squats and seated row. Done a bit of warming up, so did a minute of skipping, 1 minute, 20 kettlebell swings, a bit of dynamic stretching. Okay, so we're on to the squat itself. So today, well, last week I did this with this Olympic bar, so standard Olympic bar, 7 foot, 20 kilos, and I had, well, the bar was loaded to 40 kilos, and on top of that I put the doubled bands, which I'm going to use today. Okay, that gave me 20, and it was by no means easy at all. That was a fairly all-out effort. I might have got 21 if I'd have been paid £1 million, but it was fairly all-out. Okay, but I've decided that Friday I'm not going to. I wouldn't say I'm going to go heavier or lower reps, but I'm going to vary it a bit more. So Monday's always going to be around the 20 rep mark, you know, so I can't see it slipping below sort of like 15, 16 reps. But this Friday one I'm going to let it vary a bit, so I'm going to pile a bit more weight on today, see how many I get, and then I'll use that as a line in the sand to build it up. So as I say, last time I got 40 kilos and doubled reds, so this time I'm actually going to use 60 kilos and doubled reds and see how many reps I get. Okay, and eventually, you know, so there's no way that's going to give me 20 reps. I'm not going to get 20 reps with it, but eventually it's going to build into 20 reps. Well, that's the plan anyway, that's the plan. So, as I said, I've done a little bit of moving around, a bit of dynamic effort, and a bit of cardio, tiny bounce. I'm just going to do purely squatting now. Okay. get it up to 40. Okay, 40 kilos. Okay, I'm also going to do this without a belt, which makes an enormous difference at this point in time, at this stage. I'm hoping that as time goes by, I'll get accustomed to not wearing the belt, but I'm so utterly, totally dependent on a belt. So, doing this variant without a belt is a big test. Okay, so 40 kilos. Okay, 60 kilos. Okay, 60 kilos. As I said last time, it was only well, last Friday. So the last time I did this particular setup, last Friday, it was only 40 kilos on the bands. So I'm jumping up to 60 kilos. I got no illusion that this is going to be for 20 reps. However, it's a long and winding road. I'm not just doing the the 6-week blitz or whatever, which I think is the idea is for very skinny individuals to to absolutely kill the squat whilst ingesting a massive amount of calories, mostly recommended milk. So it's a go-mad idea, whereas I'm not doing that. I mean, I was swayed a little bit to up the calories, but I think it's a bad idea at my stage. So I've got a little bit beyond my comfort zone as regards body weight. Oh, I'm not even weighing myself, but fat, I can feel it. So I'm reining in the eating. The eating's come down, it's under control again. So no harm done. No, I can't just do a squat blitz and eat a ton. I think that's a bad idea. You know, it's not. That's for the you know, skinny young people. So mine is going to be a much more indirect path. So what I'm trying to say is that even though I'm not doing 20 reps a day, it's part of the process. Let's say, part of the process. Yeah, that's 60. I'm going to put the band on. So what I do is I put the band on, put it on one side only, one loop, if you can see. Don't know if you can see it. No, the other end is sort of like, is here. I don't know if you can see it at all, but that's the other end. So this is equally part of the brief warm-up. So yeah, effectively, I banged it up. I banged the bar weight up 30 odd %. So whether I get any more than 10 reps, I don't know. But I'll give it a good shot. But whatever I get, it's a line in the sand, and I will build on that. I mean, there's a lot not to like about 20 rep squats. So let's think about the negatives for a second. Well, it's extremely difficult, mentally demanding, eats into your recovery. But I would say that's at the same time a positive. Because who wants to do something easy? Yeah. Okay. Well, I can rephrase that. Who's proud of doing easy things? Yeah. I mean, if you've got a choice between climbing a mountain and climbing a hill for sport, you're going to choose a mountain if it's just purely for sport. So I would say the extreme difficulty of the venture is part of the appeal, but it's also a negative, I suppose. Okay. I think another big negative about it is that you're not hitting the heavier end, and that's one of the reasons why I've decided that this Friday session is going to vary much more. So at least I'm going to be hitting some heavier weights sometimes. So this is 60 in bands, which is obviously in the grand scheme of things it's extremely light, but compared to what I was doing on Monday, I think it, you know, it's heavier. Let's say it's heavier. So the negative about the 20 rep squats is that you're confined to using light weights. So I'm mitigating that on the Friday session by going below 20 reps, dipping down into the sort of like the 10 range and building back up again, dipping back down to 10, building back up again. So over time I will be visiting some heavier weights, heavier but not heavy. Okay. What else is negative about 20 rep squat? I think, you know, you just basically you get to a certain point in the set and you lose your mind. You don't know, you can't think properly. You know, you're hard pressed to keep a rep count. You know, I'm sure at some point in time I'm going to mess up the rep count. So I'm having to watch these videos and just to make sure that I got the reps that I thought I got. Because you get to a certain point and you just can't remember. It's ridiculous. You know, you think, oh, count to 20. How difficult can that be? Well, when you're doing this, it can be difficult. So yeah, I mean, alongside the, you know, the loss of the rep count, which in itself is not such a bad thing, loss of form. I think it's quite easy to get so fatigued that you just mess up your squat. That's a possibility. You know, you do a bad squat. But I think that is also mitigated by the fact that it's so light. So even though, yeah, you know, conceivably you do a poor squat, it's not a heavy squat. You know. And I think that most of the positives flow from the fact that it's lightweight. You know, you're not, you know, hopefully it's not as damaging to your knees, or it's not as hard on your system, on your skeleton, etc., etc., etc. You know, you've got less weight on your spine. So I'm hoping that's a mitigating factor. I think another big positive out of it is that you know, you're getting a hell of a lot of high intensity cardio from it without having to do cardio. Yeah. So sometimes, you know, it's very difficult to balance this sort of like cardio fitness and weightlifting or weight training. You know, I'm keen on the cardio. Anyway, here we go again. So today's valiant attempt. Get as many as I can. If it's 10, it's 10. If it's 11, it's 11, etc., etc., etc. Okay, just simply get what I can. It's unknown territory. Okay. come to 13. Okay, 13. Obviously it's not 20. But honestly, it's more than expected, believe it or not. Okay, so last week I did 40 with the red bands, and I felt that I could have done more, so I didn't think it was a great indicator. So I thought, okay, 40 went. Oh, not easy, but 40 went. So I thought, let's go for it. Banged it up to 60. 13 reps. So obviously, I've now got a target for next Friday, which is 14, which is great. Yeah, I'm not ecstatic about that. It's you know, ecstatic is when you bang up the weight and get 20 reps. But all told, I thought it was a good effort. Felt hard. Could I do another rep? Probably. But I got 13, so that theory will be tested next time when I have to get 14. And it all comes down to progressive overload. I think Lyle McDonald expresses it as progressive tension overload. Yeah. Which more or less boils down to more weight on the bar. Over time. So over time, more weight on the bar. That's the story. Okay. So that's today's effort on the squat. So now I'm going to do seated row. Way down on the machine, hopefully. So these weights are just weighting the machine down. Hopefully it stays in position. So what's on the 67 kilos. Yeah, so I loaded up to 67 before for the lat pull downs. So let's do 67 for the seated row. Hopefully be able to see all this, hopefully. Hope so. Okay, so seated row, 67 kilos. So, fairly extreme minimalism. Oh. Let's see what happens. And the worst thing that happens here is that the actual machine tips up. So I'm hoping that I've loaded enough weight on it so that it remains stationary. Okay, I do this pretty strict, you know. I'm not saying that Arnold was wrong in, you know, sort of like doing them almost like a conceptual rower, you know, moving the back. But personally, I like to keep my back in position and just move my hands. So whatever's right or wrong, it's difficult. It goes to failure. So I'm going to say it's okay. Okay, let's do it. Four, 6, 10, 11, 11 and a hold. And that's it for today. 2 sets, I'm done. Okay. So yeah. $11 reps. Tomorrow is hard cardio. And then Sunday, I think I'm going to do half an hour of easy cardio rather than a day off. I don't like having a complete day off. I'm not sure that it's such a great thing not to move around. But for sure it's going to be very easy on Sunday. So hard cardio tomorrow. Okay, bye.